what broke the camel's back for me. And then that person walking away anyway. Mm-hmm. So,
I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing. The craziest thing is being a woman with any type of purpose or dream, putting that on the back burner to be his woman while he still pursues himself, because he's gonna pursue himself, right?
Right.
And then once he gets to where he wants to be, looking at you and being like, "You ain't done nothing. You're not the person I fell in love with. The person I fell in love with had purpose. Was doing something.
That junk is wild. Right.
And so that's why you don't throw that away. You remain an individual, because remember, the individual is who he fell for.
Hey everybody, it's your girl DJ with Plan for Keys podcast, and today I have a special guest. Noirba is a model, confidence and perspective coach, and healing influencer in Atlanta. As a healing influencer and confidence coach, she has built her platform around self-love, development, and understanding that you can apply. No, it is messed up, but I read it right before. Development and understanding that can be applied to dating properly, loving yourself as well as others, and setting healthy boundaries. Lord Jesus. Today she is here to speak about resolving conflict, growing together, remaining individuals together, accomplishing dreams, the 50-50 debate, and what to look for while dating. How are you today?
I am wonderful. I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm struggling, but I am okay. I am okay. So before we dive into these great topics, I ask every coach that comes on the show, what's their why? So basically you're in the serving space where you serve other people as a coach. Yeah. So I would love to hear your background story and just how you became to be today.
Okay. I think my biggest why is the fact that I didn't have guidance. I feel like too often we kind of mirror things that are around us, relationships that we see, people we may look up to, but we don't actually have guidance. Where we can have someone that we can turn to and say, okay, so this is the situation, this is where I'm at, and have it unbiased. Because even when I think of like guidance, like going to my mom or going to my grandmother, right? I can do that, but it's going to be biased.
Right.
It's going to be biased information because they know me, and they put in their own little whatever, how they're feeling. And so I just genuinely wanted to serve as a safe space, someplace where you're not judged at all. I understand. I get it. Right. So I get where you're coming from, but let's look at this from a totality, right? Let's look at it from a different perspective. And then let's also take in some other factors and see how we can best do something that actually serves you, but also is healthy and also promotes the person that you are growing within as
Absolutely.
Well. So that's why.
Got you. So for most coaches, there's like a pivoted point or a turning point in their life or a specific situation that just kind of broke the camel's back, that made them actually kind of do the work on themselves, and then they were able to help and serve the community. What is your story?
So I was in an abusive relationship.
Okay.
I never thought of myself or felt like I was portrayed as anybody who would have met me would have never said, oh, she doesn't love herself or anything like that. Like, I was always, bright, and I showed up as myself, right?
Yeah.
But being in that abusive relationship really had me in a space where I was like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
If I love me, what's this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? And I think in that, it turned into a life or death because he really was starting to strip away my identity.
Wow.
And making me die down, because I'm a very bright light, and I know that because, and my grandmother used to always tell me this. She said that because you are a bright light, not only are you like a moth to a flame, people like bugs, anything is gonna be drawn to you, right?
Yeah.
But also you're gonna meet people who are gonna want to capture that and keep it for themselves.
That's the truth. Yeah.
And because of that, I met a man who wanted to capture that light and keep it for that. He didn't want anybody else to have that light. So because of that, whenever I was outside of home or anything like that, he didn't want me to show up as myself the same ways.
Yeah.
Right? He started stripping away just certain things like how I dress, things that I did, my entrepreneurship, everything that I built up about me. He started stripping those things down.
Wow.
And I had a moment when I was looking in the mirror, and I didn't feel like I looked like me. I didn't feel like me. I felt really sad.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I was just like, okay, this is life or death, because the person that you are is literally dying, and what are you going to do about it? And so I was like, okay, that's it. I left the situation. I didn't think about my stuff. I didn't think about any of that. I literally called my grandmother and was like, listen, I'm coming to your house. I'm going to pack up what I can. I need you to come, put it in your car, and I'm out of here.
Let me ask you this. How do you think one gets into a situation like that? I know every situation could be different, but when you think about your own, what would you say?
I'm a healer. And so because
I think it pretty much stems from the same, because I could think of other people and myself who would say the same thing. You see somebody and you want to help them and you want to try to fix things.
Yeah, I'm a healer. I'm an empath. I'm a Virgo, so I like projects. And my mom is actually somebody who told me, like, just because it's a project, you don't have to actually date that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel connected to a person, and then you start diving into their stuff, their issues, and then you want to help them, you want to build them up, whatever the case may be, and then you start taking on some responsibility that doesn't belong to you.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this, as a Virgo woman. Do you feel you could ever be in a relationship where you could just be? Would that be hard for you? You think, even to this day, with all of your knowledge and being a coach? Because I'm a Sagittarius, which Sagittarius aren't known for that, but I have that same aspect. And what me building my business has helped me with that. So now I'm like, okay, I can serve in this way.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is that the same for you? Or do you feel like for you to feel maybe validated in the relationship, do you feel like it has to be some aspect where you're helping them build or something?
So I actually have learned that it's not my job. Unless I'm being paid, then it's my job.
I know that's right.
So, and I actually, in dating, have like recently, I actually started talking to someone who is also a Virgo, and this is the first time where I feel like it's not all of that. Like,
really,
it's very like, I feel like I'm talking to someone who is a lot like me.
Okay.
And when we have conversations, it's not coming from a place of it's not coming from a place where I'm here and they're there.
Yeah.
It's like we're here and we're both trying to get here. So
I know that feels good.
We're having it's a different type of conversation.
How does that feel for you? How does it feel scary? Do you feel scary?
It's actually really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know some people, if they're really in tune with themselves, they'll say it feels scary in a way because they don't know what to do with that. Like you know how you can make a relationship last if you are somebody who can help build, but then all of a sudden you don't have to do that in this space, and it's like you just there, and it's just kind of like, how do you sit in that? Like, I guess because it seems like you said, you guys are here and you're trying to go here.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming in y'all relationship,
we're still building.
You're building and bouncing ideas off of each other, and that's awesome.
Yeah, so we're still building, but it's not from a space of I'm just trying to pull you up to me.
Yeah.
Right? We're already here. And so and the thing is we're both, it's like he's thinking of stuff for me, I'm thinking of stuff for him.
That's
so dope. Like he'll call me and be like, yo, so I met this chick, and she does blah blah blah, she's a stylist, I think she's fly, I want to link you in, da da da. So it's like, I'm like, oh, are you know?
I love that for you. Yes.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love that for you. Okay, so that leads to our first segue. So knowing what to look for while dating, in your opinion, what does that look like? When you wrote that subject, that kind of tagline on the form, what were the thoughts coming through your head?
What to look like when dating.
Or what to look, was it what to look for? My bad.
What to look for.
I messed up.
What to look for when dating. So, first and foremost, it's self-sufficiency. So, absolutely. I need you to be self-sufficient. I'm looking at what does dating look like for you? Yeah. I think it's an honest conversation to be like, so what is dating like for you? Like, what do you know what I'm saying? To get an idea of what you want. I have stopped telling people what I want and what I like. Because I don't want you to fish for that. I don't want you to portray yourself in another.
So what do you, because that's a topic, and I literally was going to do a video on it on my Instagram, because I feel like you should at least list characteristics of what you're looking for. So what do you say? Like, some people, like this one girl was like, I just tell them I don't know, because I don't want them trying to mirror the man that I want them to be.
I want you to be you.
But I don't, but it's like, are you giving them the whole playbook? That's the one with her. She said she was, and it's just kind of like, you don't just tell them like you're looking for somebody, like, and like name a few things and then look for that. And then if you don't see that, then just move on.
I want to get to know you. So
what does that look like?
I want to get to know who you are. I want to know exactly who you are. And I think, so I don't give them anything.
So what do you do? I need to know, like, because she was like, I just tell them I don't know and I just listen. And I'm like, what?
No, I don't tell them that I don't know, but I tell them that I'm looking for someone who is going to be true to themselves and true to me.
I can respect that.
And I let them.
They don't be like, so what does that look like for you? Like,
I'll tell them, when you show me something that I don't like, you'll know. I'll let you know.
That's good, because I know some people, and this is including me in the past, if depend, like if I'm starting out with somebody, if I like them, I probably won't say nothing at first until it reaches a boiling point. I say something, and then it's already too late. It's like, you done let me slide with this about 5 times.
Yeah, or my homegirl will cut them off. My best friend cuts them off so quick. I'd be like, well, did you tell them that was a thing? Yeah. I'm not telling them that. I'm like, well, so I think it depends. So, like, you have to have your non-negotiables, of course. Right?
Absolutely.
So your non-negotiables, of course, if you see that, like, that's a non-negotiable. I can't do anything with that, right? There's nothing to talk about. But if it's something where I need to understand, is this a character thing or is this a situation thing? Because
how do you tell? Is this by having a conversation with them, or do you like look at it holistically yourself? Okay,
both. So I'll have a conversation like, hey, we had a conversation the other day, or we went out the other day and you did this thing, and I just want to know, is that like a character? Like, is that you? Is that how you are? Or was there something else going on that was behind that might have caused you to be that way that day? Got you. Because it's like that sometimes. Like, if you, like, I'm not a angry person per se. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm pretty even cool. It takes a lot for me to really express anger, right? Yeah. But I feel like if somebody caught me on a day where it just was a lot going on, or somebody did something that was extremely offensive or something like that, they may see anger. And at that instance, I wouldn't want you to think that I'm an angry person. Okay. So I would be able to explain to you, like, listen, this is why I was this way. This is what happened. This is how I could have handled it. You know what I'm saying? But I was having a day, because people have days. Yeah. So it's understanding, was this a thing, or like, is this a thing? Like, this is how you are. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So. So making sure they're self-sufficient, not really putting it out there what you're looking for, but at the same time, putting it out there a little bit. It sounds like you do a little bit. You should be authentic.
Okay.
And honest.
How long you let somebody be authentic and honest? How long do you... Because I know, and then that's another thing too. So people are dating multiple people. Mm-hmm. Are you into that, or are you not?
I am.
Okay. So are you dating multiple people and kind of just letting them be their authentic selves, and if people fall off, they fall off. If they stay on, they stay on. You know what? That's not bad.
So I think that I feel like you have different stages. So I feel like you have this I'm getting to know you phase, right? Where I'm getting to know if you're somebody that I want to pursue. Okay. Like, do I want to pursue a relationship? I feel like in that stage, that's when you're talking to multiple people. because you're just getting to know people.
Right.
But I feel like once you get to a point where you've gotten to know someone, you're like, I really like this person. You know, I really want to see what that's about. Then I feel like another conversation is had. Like, I want to start dating. I want to start, you know what I'm saying, really seeing what this looks like. And then you can start to enter into conversations of exclusivity at that point.
Got you. Let me ask you this. Do you think, you know, in the heterosexual type of relationships anyway, I think it could apply for any if you are into the masculine, feminine thing. Do you think the woman or the more feminine like person in a relationship should have that conversation, or the more masculine or the man should start that conversation or start that off? Because some people different coaches stand on different ends of the spectrum with that too.
I think that whoever is feeling that way first. You know, if I'm in a space where I like you enough to where, okay, I'm ready to be exclusive and I want to have that conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
Yeah.
Or I'll ask questions like, so what do you think about, but I think that that's also the importance of asking that question of what dating looks like to that person.
Absolutely.
From the beginning, because then some stuff you don't necessarily have to have too much conversation about, because you already know how they are. They've already told you, like, when I'm serious about a person, this is what I do, or this is how I feel, or this is what I want to do or happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we've already had that conversation where I know what your phases look like, then I can kind of gauge what phase we're in.
Gotcha.
And then we can kind of go from there. And if I feel like it's time for that conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
I feel that.
I'm not waiting on
I feel that. There's a next segue. So you said the 50-50. Mm-hmm. Like, what's up with that? Like, when you put that on the phone, not a lot of people like to dig into this topic. What are your thoughts around the 50-50 split and all of that stuff?
So, I think that for me personally, when I think of 50-50, I think of it really, I think the wording is wrong. And I think that's part of the problem. Okay. I think people are always looking at 50-50 from a financial aspect, and they're looking at, we split everything down the middle, right?
Yeah.
But the reality of the situation is, when you're going into a relationship with someone, and this is someone that we're talking, when I'm thinking relationship, this is someone I'm planning to build my life with, and we're going to, you know, lead into marriage. This
Absolutely.
Is what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah.
So it should be two people bringing 100%, right?
Yeah.
And filling in when needed.
And that's in every area. That's not finance. That's every area. That's love. It's
everything.
Everything.
And every day you're not going to be 100%.
That's
right.
True. Yeah.
So there's going to be days. There's something that I ask people that are very close to me, especially like when I'm dating, and I ask them what their percentages are every day, right? And so when I say what are your percentages, I'm talking about where are you mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I feel like there's one more.
I think that's it.
That's it?
I think so.
Why do I feel like there's 5? Mentally, spiritually, physically,
emotionally,
financially.
Okay.
I was like, where's
that makes sense.
This one?
Okay.
So mentally, spiritually,
physically, emotionally, and financially.
Those are the 5. I asked them what are their percentages. Because how are you feeling that day?
Good question.
Right? And so I asked that with my partners because if I know where you are, I know where I need to be so that we're at 100. So if you're like, babe, today, I think mentally I'm at like 85%. Like, I feel real strong mentally, right? Spiritually, I feel like I might be at like 60%. Mm-hmm. Financially, I'm at a 70%. Emotionally, I'm at a 40%. And feel like I'm missing one. Where's the other one?
Financial. Did you say financial?
I said financially. I don't know. We're going to skip it because I can't. But if you're telling me, if I hear lower than 50%, then I know that those are areas where you're really needing something, a push, something extra, right? So if you're telling me that emotionally you're at 40%, I'm saying, okay, let's talk about that 40%. Where are you at? Are you feeling drained? Do you feel overwhelmed? Like, are you stressed? What's going on? Right? Because that needs to be our focus for today as a couple.
So is that a question you ask every day, once a week? Because I know that's a great freaking question. I love that. Okay. Because I know some people do check-ins. I've heard weekly. Mm-hmm. I think I've heard daily too. Rarely I hear daily, but weekly, maybe monthly. Because a lot of couples don't even do check-ins like that for real.
I know.
That's dope.
And that's wild because you don't even know what the person that you wake up next to, go to bed next to every day, how they feeling.
And dealing with.
Yeah.
Why do you think people get so comfortable to not have check-ins?
Dealing with their own stuff within. I feel like it's a part of, it's that, and I feel like a lot of times people expect that because we've been together, you should know.
That too. That's very true.
So it's like the person isn't asking because they're dealing with their own stuff. The other person isn't telling because you should know. Yeah. And now we just both doing whatever.
Got you. So my next question for you on the same topic, kind of. How much of a percentage do you feel you should or anybody should be responsible for of their partner?
I feel like, so when I'm thinking of the percentage, I'm thinking of them fluctuating, right? They're gonna fluctuate.
Not just whole, like as a whole in the relationship. Not even thinking of your last scenario was amazing, but just as a person, as the relationship as a whole, what percentage do you feel you would be responsible for in your partner's happiness?
So, initially, the way that I want to answer the question is I'm not responsible for it. Mm-hmm. Because, again, we're supposed to both bring 100%, right?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like anybody is responsible for anybody's happiness. However, because I'm choosing to be with you, if you're low, if I can lend it to you, I'm going to lend it to you. You know what I'm saying?
So, what percentage do you feel you should contribute to that?
That's such a, it depends type of question. It depends.
For you, does it depend on that day? You seem real analytical and real technical, because I'll bust out with maybe 20%. You know what I'm saying? Like as a whole, like you said, like you asked the percentages of the different topics that you mentioned. Okay, and if they're feeling really low on one of them, then of course asking how, what's going on and making them feel better in that way. And if you could assist, you can assist. That maybe would be my,
that's not what they need.
That to me, that would be that's a great 20% holistically, just making sure they're okay. Because like you said, there's only so much you really can do for another person if they're genuinely not happy.
Yeah.
So,
just asking them what they need. Because also on top of that, because I feel like, especially as women, sometimes we get so beat up because we are constantly giving that extra. If they're low in any particular area, we're constantly trying to overcompensate for that, right?
Yeah.
And then that becomes our burden. So that's why I said I don't feel like it's our responsibility.
It's not.
But I'll ask you what you need. So if you're feeling like you're 20% emotionally, okay, so what can I do?
Yeah.
And they may say, honestly, I don't feel like there's really anything that you can do. I got this going on, I'm doing this, I'm dealing with whatever. Okay, fine. So what can I do to not add to how you're feeling? Or to take away from how you're feeling?
Yeah.
Those are questions that I ask. And then also, sometimes if two people are low and can't lend to each other, then that's when you go to another source.
And would another source be a coach, a therapist?
Higher power coach, therapist, preacher, friend, somebody, a third party, right? That will be able to, or sometimes it could be an activity, something that makes both of you guys feel great. It can be, you know what I'm saying, doing something for each other. Sometimes we feel better when we're doing something outside of ourselves, right? So sometimes it can be an activity. It doesn't necessarily have to be like me physically doing something for you or giving you a whole bunch of energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's quiet time and leaving you the hell alone.
A lot of times it be like that for real though. For a lot of people, you be sitting there trying to give. In reality, they just want space. I've learned that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've learned that. So segue into the next topic where you talk about basically being individuals while you're together, which I feel like this is a great segue into that. How does a couple do that in your eyes?
Stop giving 100% to a relationship does not mean that relationship is your life. And I feel like their relationship becomes their whole life. Like you get into a relationship, you don't talk to your friends no more.
Yeah.
You don't do any of the things that you love doing at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I feel like, especially, I've seen with women, and I can only really speak from the female perspective, but, and I'm sure that there are men that do the same thing. Your activities turn into all that they want to do.
Yeah.
They completely take over your atmosphere.
Where do you think that comes from?
I think it comes from people want to make any environment that they're in comfortable, right? So it's only natural for someone to come into an environment, and if we start, like, if we move in together, it's only natural for if my favorite color is blue, now I want everything to be blue, right?
Yeah.
That's how it was at my space. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's kind of what happens, but also I think that we forget that, and I'm gonna say this too.
Mm-hmm.
Men are a lot better at being individuals in relationships.
Oh, they are. They are.
Because a man is going to listen. If he goes plays basketball every Wednesday with his boys, every Wednesday he going to play basketball with his boys. He don't give a damn what you talking about. You knew I play basketball on Wednesday.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Yeah, it's crazy how they can decompartmentalize stuff. And like I said, women kind of just mesh themselves with... But sometimes I just wonder, where does that come from? Do you think it's like the culture and how they feel like...
pressure that we get as women, wanting to be the all.
Yeah.
The ever serving, ever nurturing,
ever
so loving woman. Like, that's just what we want to be available at the beck and call.
Right.
So we don't do anything else because in case he needs something, right, we can do it. Because we feel like that's where our value lies.
It's just crazy. Is that something you suffer from?
No.
Never?
I had stuff to do.
I feel that. So
I was doing stuff.
Even, because I know there's a difference between you being enmeshed in a relationship than somebody dimming your light to try to keep you from people. So I know there is a difference between that. So I definitely can see. But I know I had an issue with that in the past, enmeshing myself. Because, like I said, too, like I was really big on trying to build somebody up. But then I had to realize while I was building the wrong people up, it was bringing me down. Yeah. So, so that's kind of what happened to me. And that's kind of what broke the camel's back for me. And then that person walking away anyway. Mm-hmm. So.
I'm going to tell you the craziest thing. The craziest thing is being a woman with any type of purpose or dream, putting that on the back burner to be his woman while he still pursues himself. Because he's going to pursue himself, right?
Right.
And then once he gets to where he wants to be, looking at you and being like, you ain't done nothing. You're not the person I fell in love with. The person I fell in love with had purpose. Was doing something.
That junk is wild. Right.
And so that's why you don't throw that away. You remain an individual, because remember, the individual is who he fell for to begin with. Right.
So how do you juggle that, knowing, because I don't care what anybody, men are really big babies, right?
Oh,
they want you to be they want you to be the end all be all.
Yeah.
And then again, also subconscious, like you just said, okay, they fell in love with this woman, which you put that on the back burner for them, and then you grow up, they realize they get to go where they want to go, and then you still where you at, and then they looking at you crazy. How does a woman balance all of that? Like, how does a woman still remain herself?
Always in pursuit of self. Always in pursuit of self. Always showing up for yourself.
Give a tip for that. Because I feel like a lot of women get lost in that.
So one thing I make very, very clear, because I am an entrepreneur working and building my brand and building myself. One thing that I make very clear is I am not going to get an A in every area. And it is very unfair for you to expect that of me.
Okay.
So it's teamwork. It's but I also feel like it's somebody genuinely here for what you have going on, like genuinely just rooting for you.
Yeah.
If you have a partner, then it's not gonna be difficult. Because we're gonna have a conversation, and this is what we're doing. We have a plan, right?
Right.
And we play our role during the time. It's just like if you have a football play. I hate making sports analogies because I promise y'all I don't watch sports, but it makes so much sense in life stuff, because if you have a play, right, everybody has their role, and we know that when it's time, when we go to break, we know what's happening.
Yeah.
We already know what's happening. You get in position, you do what you got to do. So if you're my partner and you know what I'm pursuing, I know what you're pursuing, we're figuring out how we can pursue that thing, those things individually together.
Got you. So I want to circle back to your relationship where you said the guy wanted to dim your light. How did you, when you think about that version of yourself back then, how did you get caught up in that? Because it sounds like if someone's trying to dim your light, then they weren't being a team player in your vision. Not completely anyway. How would you say you got caught up in that? And how did you continue to did you just continue to try to fight through it because you still had stuff going on? What did that look like?
So I think that I got caught up in that so much because at the time that he came into my life, it was very chaotic. My whole family had gotten into a horrible car accident.
Wow.
And I just was in a space where I needed a lot of emotional support. And emotionally at the time, he was showing up.
Yeah.
So that meant something to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the relationship started turning into something where I felt like I owed. Because he showed up for me in the way that he showed up for me. And I think that that's kind of like where that started. But then it started to take a turn because he just got so like enthralled in it all and didn't want me. It started from a space of, you know what I'm saying, you need rest emotionally. Because I was exhausted. I was overwhelmed. There was a lot going on. They were on their way out of town. So my mom was pregnant at the time. Her foot almost was completely severed.
Wow.
My little brother got thrown out of the car. It was just a lot, right? So I was running up. They were 2.5 hours away because they were on the road. And so I remember it was one point in time where I stayed at the hospital for like a week straight. Like I did not leave the hospital.
How long were they at the hospital?
My mother was in the hospital for 2.5, 3 months.
Wow, that's a long time. Okay.
Yeah. My brother, he got out of the hospital after like a week and a half or so.
Okay.
My little sister didn't have to stay. No, my baby sister didn't have to stay. My little sister was there for a few weeks. So it was just a lot.
Yeah.
It was just a lot happening. And I was exhausted. I was very drained.
Yeah.
Emotionally. And so it started with a protectiveness.
Okay.
Right. Protecting me from just any outside BS, anybody, whatever, right? Which I needed at the time.
Yeah.
And then I think that allowing him to be that protective figure, it grew into him now being a possessive person.
Yeah.
And it just kind of blossomed into this massive thing from there.
Wow.
So, but it was a lot of him stuff
Yeah.
There's a lot of him.
I can.
Him stuff. It was a lot of stuff that he was dealing through. And there were a lot of things, you know, abuse, hurt people.
They do.
So, you know, and you can't, it's not my job to heal a hurt person. They got to heal on their own. I can't.
Yeah, that's true.
I literally can't. Like, even when you think of, like, being a nurse or being an EMT or whatever, something happens, you scrape your arm, whatever the case may be, I can put peroxide on it, I can put a band on it, but I didn't heal you.
Right. Your body healed itself.
You healed yourself.
Right.
I just cleaned the wound and put a Band-Aid on it. You know what I'm saying? Might have kissed it or something. That's it. So I just loved on you a little bit, and that's all we can do. We can love on a person, absolutely, but you have to heal. I can't heal you.
That was a good analogy.
That really was.
I'm gonna use some. Girl, I'm coming out using a few of your stuff. So another question I want to ask you: when you work with clients, you being a coach, what would you say the number one thing is that you work with clients on?
Conflict resolution.
Communication.
That's conflict resolution.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
So how do you work with people with conflict resolution when they come in with their issues? What do you commonly see? I understand that, okay, they need help with communication, but a lot of clients, when they come in seeking help, are they usually the type that's communicative enough, would you say, or do they need help around communication? And if they do, like, what tips and techniques do you use to help them become better communicators?
So I think the biggest thing would be perspective.
Okay.
Often I hear, you know, you're telling me from your perspective.
Right.
This is how I feel. This is how he made me feel. This is what I think, right? And it's just only your perspective. And I feel like even if someone is communicating, right, they're only communicating from what they think, they feel, they want, right?
Yeah.
And which is, being full of self is fine. But there's a difference between being selfful and selfish. It really is. Being selfish is not caring about the other person. You want what you want. You feel how you feel. You think what you think. That's it. Right? Being selfful is you are aware of what you want. You're aware of what you need. You're aware of these things, right? And you want to accomplish those things, but you want to accomplish those things in a healthy way. with boundaries, with communicate, with all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of times people just come in with this like me.
Yeah.
And it's so unfair, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the biggest one. And I think that is the common denominator when it comes to communication and stuff like that, because your perspective, this is another one. Your perspective will segue how you receive information.
That's so true.
And a lot of times, it's not about how the information is given to you. It's how you receive. It's how you take it in.
Right.
And you took it in the way that you took it in because of whatever viewpoint you were coming from in the beginning.
That's a fact. How do you help people open up their perspective to first of all, not take things? I know that your partner may be telling you something, talking to you about something, but how do you teach one not to take it in so personal to the point where it maybe anger them or damages their relationship, but have it be an opener for a conversation?
Yeah. 3 things. 1, stop, breathe, think. Like, stop, breathe, think. And I say that because a lot of times in conversations, especially if it's like a debate or argument, whatever the case may be, we're listening to respond, but not to understand what's being said.
Right.
So as you're talking to me, I'm thinking of my response. I'm not listening to you, and I'm already on the defense because all I know is that you saying something else. I don't know what you're saying, but you're saying something else.
Right.
And that's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
I want, right?
Mm-hmm.
So stop, think, breathe.
Okay.
Just take a second. Stop, breathe, think about it for a minute, let it resonate, and then respond. If you're in a space where you feel yourself being angry, don't talk at all.
What's the difference between doing that and stonewalling your partner? Do you tell them, hey,
yes, conversation, that right there.
Hey, I need a second. We need to take a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen. And I always say you always have to say it sweetly. Okay? You say it sweetly. Don't be like, stop talking to me, I need a second, I need to break. You can't do that. You gotta be like, baby, you just said a lot just now, and I want to genuinely take in what you said and give you an honest response. But I need a moment to just.
What if they
let's come back.
What if they got like the anxious attachment style and they're like, how long is a moment? What's a moment?
And see, this is the thing too, because I tell people too, when you do that, you can't think that that's a way of sweeping it under the rug, because that's where that comes. That's why people feel that way. Because people say, I need a moment, they'll walk away, and then they'll never want to talk about it again.
Do you tell them to also put some type of time limit on it, maybe?
Put a time limit on it. You could do an activity.
Yeah.
If y'all smoke or something, just be like, babe, I need a second. Can we just roll up and, you know what I'm saying? Have this conversation. And a little later, can we get a drink? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let me go. Give me a second. I'm going to go open a bottle of wine. Pour me a bottle of wine, and then I'm gonna take a shower, and I'm gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Give you a moment to relax. You know what I'm saying? And let them know that it's important.
Yeah, that's important too. Yeah.
Because you never want to invalidate the other person, and I think sometimes if you say let's put a pin in that, you kind of feel on hold and invalidated. Like if I'm telling you how I feel, you be like, let's put a pin in that. I'd be like, you know,
right?
What? so you can't necessarily do that, but you can say, I want to make sure that I handle this the proper way.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming to me, and I just need a second to really digest what you have to say, and then let's come back and talk about it. So let me just relax, take a shower, get undressed. Like, especially if it's a situation where, like, you coming home from work or, you just say, listen, I just want to breathe for a second. Let me go take a shower, change, give me something to drink, and we're going to talk about that. Because I want to make sure it's addressed, and I want to make sure you feel good before we go to bed tonight.
You know, that's a good answer. That's a great answer.
Right?
I don't know if men are going to follow that, because it sounds like there's something men...
But it's a good one. It's a good one, because the problem is the problem is not necessarily that you don't want to have the conversation right now. The problem is that I already have expressed something. So you still have to handle what has been expressed, and you just got to let me know that you heard me. Yeah. And you have to let me know that we're definitely going to talk about it. It's important to you. Right. You feel it. You're going to relax, and you're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. But the thing is once you take your shower, you get your drink, you get your food, or whatever you do, and you relax.
Let's go.
Because she going to be looking at you like, so, what do you think? We don't even talk what's up. So you definitely have to make sure that you absolutely do address it. It's not a tool to sweep it under the rug at all.
Got you.
But it's definitely something to allow you guys the opportunity to express and talk to each other in a good manner, to where you're not aggravated. Yeah. You know, because you don't communicate well when you like that. I know I don't. Like, man,
I don't at all. I'm definitely the stonewalling type where I don't want to talk no more.
Yo, you a stonewall.
That's why I said that's why I had to drop that in there. So what's the difference? Because I just kind of, after a while, if I'm tired of it, if we ain't getting nowhere, then I don't want to talk about it. Or if it's the same things repeated. Go ahead, you can ask me.
So when you say we're not getting anywhere,
so for
what is a solution? Does everything have a solution?
Everything doesn't have a solution.
Okay.
Everything doesn't have a solution. Let's say if a topic comes up, a repeated topic comes up, maybe a partner has an issue with something that I'm doing, but it's not an issue. It's a part of my personality. Maybe in a way I feel like they trying to dim me down too, child. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know? I'm just going to walk away. So that's something I still got to work on. So that's why I said, what's the difference between taking a break and stonewalling, and then do you put a time on it? Because I know there's some people who can be super anxious and they need an answer right now. They want to talk about it right now. Or let's say if they bring something up and y'all on the phone and you don't want to talk about it right now, but they'll blow you up and be like, hey, let me take a break. They will blow you up until you decide you want to talk about it. Do you have any clients like that? And how would you address those type of clients?
So, for one, it is extremely unfair to like, just because you want to answer right now, you got to get it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what the headspace the person is in. Now, I will say this. That's me.
Yeah.
That's how I was. Like, if you know, what's up? It's been 10 minutes. What are we talking about? But one thing that I have learned and one thing that I utilize now is that I'll put it out there and allow them the opportunities and time to talk about it. So I'll say, hey, so I really want to talk about X, Y, and Z. So let me know when we can have that conversation.
Got you. So
I'm not bombarded. Because I used to bombard, okay? Like, something come on my mind, and I'm calling you 3 o'clock in the morning like, yo.
Oh, my God.
I'm feeling like that, you know what I'm saying? And it could be a lot of the person if you're not expecting it. Like, what the hell is this girl talking about? Where did this come from? Because I'll be in my head. I'm an overthinker.
Yeah. It's crazy because I can be an overthinker too, but not to that capacity. Somebody call me on that shit. I'm like, look, I'm going to call you tomorrow.
I'll call you on some. What?
I'm calling you tomorrow.
I'll call. And, you know, and I've dealt with guys who've been like, you want some shit right now, I'm not finna talk to you. I'll talk to you later.
Right.
And I've dealt with guys that will be up, stressed out 3 o'clock in the morning on the phone with me. And it'll be so funny because I'm an overthinker, but then also because I'm so analytical and I do understand stuff from different perspectives, I'll put them through all of that stress, get off the phone with them, and laugh and be like, "Now, you know, you did not have to do all of that because."
See, that's why I would have hung up on your ass and said, "I'll talk to you tomorrow," because ain't nobody putting me through that shit right there.
I laugh like I really stressed that out. My bad. Sorry.
Let me ask you this, because what I ask people now, I think you gave me an answer, but what I would ask people when they would say they would do that is, okay, so what ways are you working on soothing yourself while you're waiting? So even while you're waiting, because you give them time and space when you ask a question, what do you do in between to soothe yourself, or have you gotten to the point where you're okay on waiting?
I stopped thinking about it.
Girl, how do you do that?
Listen, because I will.
You busy though, so I can imagine.
I will overthink myself. I will overthink myself into almost a damn near panic attack. I'll be crying. Okay, it'd be so much. So what I have a very strong support system, and I have a lot of people who really know me.
Okay.
So I'll call my sister.
That's good.
And I'd be like, and she'll be like, girl, okay, calm down, because you know how you get. You need to calm down. Mm-hmm. So what's happening? And I'll tell her. But for me, because I'm an overthinker, to combat the overthinking, I have to talk about it. That's all I need to do. I'm literally one of those people, I just got to talk through. If I can talk through it, I'll get to the other side. I'll be fine.
So is that something you would coach somebody you with on that beforehand?
Yeah, I let them know. I just got to talk through it.
Yeah.
And I need you to understand that me talking through something is not, sometimes it don't necessarily require responses. It don't necessarily require a solution. Because honestly, I be done talk myself. I be done talk through the solution and I got it. I really just need you to listen. That's it. I just need you to allow me to talk. My biggest issues when it comes to certain people and certain relationships, girl, I had this one ex. He would get so emotional. You know what I'm saying? And
worked up himself.
He gets so worked up. So if I would bring something up that I just wanted to genuinely talk about, it would just like stress him out. Like he couldn't deal. And that would stress me out because now I can't talk. Because now you upset.
Yeah.
And I can't get it out and nothing gets done. And it's just nothing, right?
Yeah.
Versus the Virgo that he's like, listen, the least I can do at a minimum as somebody who wants to occupy your space and your time is listen.
I love that for you.
Girl, I be like,
yes.
So that right there,
mm-hmm.
I didn't have to, and that's why I said it's so good to sit back and allow people to be themselves, because I didn't have to coach him on that. I didn't have to tell him sometimes I just need to talk.
Yeah.
Because he said I'm here to listen. So we good.
Yeah.
When I'm going through whatever, and I'm just he'll talk with me.
Yeah.
Through it. And then at the end, I'll be like, okay, so he be like, you good? I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, all right.
That's what's up. I love that for you. Let me ask you these questions.
Okay.
I ain't never asked this. What movie traumatized you most as a child?
Oh, Beloved.
I never seen that movie. What's that about?
Child, the lady had a baby. The white man came, sliced the baby head off or something, slit her throat, killed the baby. And then later on, the baby's spirit comes back in this girl and comes and lives with the lady. And the lady wants to take over the baby spirit wants to take over the lady's life. It stressed me out, okay? It stressed me out.
Okay, I thought Beloved was going to be like this real... Never mind. Oh, hell no.
It's a very, like, spiritual voodoo-ish type movie. And my grandmother let me watch it when I was like 7.
No, she didn't.
And she was like, you need to watch this. Why? I don't know. Because I to this day, I haven't watched it again as an adult, and I probably should, so I can understand what it's supposed to like really be about.
Yeah.
But the thing that traumatized me the most was she had sex with her mother's husband. And she did this thing where she was like, touch me on the insides. And then she said, touch me on the insides and say my name. And he started, it was, who is it? Danny Glover. He's like, beloved. Oh my God. The room lit up. It was like red lights.
Oh my God.
She was a demon. It was crazy. I just couldn't. I was like,
that is wild.
For the rest of my life.
Oh my God. Did she end up at least killing the person who killed her?
She had a baby. She birthed the
demon baby?
It's a lot.
Oh my God, I'm clutching my fake pearls and shit. Okay.
But Beloved traumatized the hell.
I bet that sounds fucking traumatizing. Okay. If you have ever been cheated on, how did that impact you?
Have I been cheated on? Probably, but I don't know. I did in college. Oh my God. Okay. How did that impact me?
Mm-hmm.
I think it just I think that was the beginning of like, I really don't trust nothing y'all got to say for real.
Oh.
Yeah, cuz it was his best friend.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I knew it was something going on, didn't really know, wasn't really like, I'm one of those people, I leave stuff at face value. So when you say that's your best friend, okay, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like,
especially
whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm gonna see it.
Like, and then too, let me ask you this: in the present time, if your man, let's say the Virgo that you're talking to now, let's say if he has a woman that has always been his friend since college days, but that's just his friend, would you be cool with that? Them still being friends?
Yeah.
So that's why I say I'm kind of the same way. So that's why I probably would have took it as face value too, especially if he knew her way before he met me. You can say something, but then at the same time, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of. Anyway, we can.
Yeah, Chad, but I caught him.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch them in the act, but I mean, pretty much, basically, and I think that was the first time. Like I knew I used to have anger issues real bad. I know you probably can't tell because I'm just slow, but I used to have anger issues really, really bad, and that was just a rage that I just don't want to have. Yeah. I don't want to be that person, so I don't deal with people who put me in spaces that make me have to be that person.
Right. How do you discern people like that and then just stay away from them?
I think it's really hard. It's really hard to discern if someone is a liar until they lie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell if you're a liar until you lie,
Got you.
But I just pay attention to the things that people say, how they say it, and I just let them be who they are. Okay. And then I also don't take stuff personally anymore. If you decide to do something, that's your loss. Like, losing me is
a total loss.
It's an epic. It's the worst thing you can do in your life. Like, what? I just assume you're an idiot. I was like, okay, they stupid. That's fine. So now that I know that, if something like that were to happen.
Got you. Okay. My ex taught me blank, and I apply it in my relationships today.
These niggas teach me anything.
Girl, you being a Virgo, you probably don't think so, child. You probably don't. Not a damn thing.
Did anybody teach me anything? I think that so I was engaged to my best friend.
Okay.
And I think if he hasn't taught me anything, he taught me that I most definitely am not the problem. No, for real. Like, he'll say all the time, like, when I date and stuff like that, and I talk to him about, like, relationships and stuff, he'll be like, I don't understand how a dude could lose you. That's stupid. Because you like that for real. Because I like that for real.
So how did your best friend lose you, friend?
Right. Because but we don't have that conversation. Because, you know what I'm saying, we could go there, but we don't. I just be like,
This is going to be a whole.
Like, this is stupid. How they lose you? And I be like, you did it.
That sounds like it's going to be a whole other podcast.
whole other thing. But, it's just, that wasn't ever supposed to be.
More than what it was supposed. Got you. If you could be remembered for one thing from a past relationship, what would it be?
Putting I put you on to some stuff. I put you on a game for real. Like, businesses, how to structure business, what to do, all of that. Like, I know how to. I'm a visionary, so if you tell me what you want to do, I'll take it to another level. And I have instilled that in everyone that I have ever dated. I have showed them that they are capable of being an entrepreneur and bringing in that bag. Now, everybody can't do it without me, so, you know what I'm saying? They ain't doing nothing now, but they could have if they would have listened. It was booming when I left, okay? If it fell apart when I left, I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yo, you like my alter ego, because that's just certain things I just would not say out loud. But it be the truth, though. Okay. What do you need to improve, learn, or stop doing to be successful in a relationship? What do you need to stop doing?
What do I need to stop doing? Overthinking. But I can't. I can't stop overthinking. So because I know that I can't stop overthinking, I have just learned how to deal with my overthinking without putting it on my partner. I don't always have to express everything that comes into my brain.
What do you do? Do you journal? Or you just talk? Like you said, you have a strong support system.
Pray about it, talk about it. It just depends on what it is.
Got you.
If it's something that I feel like I just want to give that to God and just pray about it, I do. If it's meditation, I'll do that. If it's journaling, I'll do that. Sometimes it's as easy as listening to music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's as easy as having some downtime where I'm genuinely relaxing. or it could be talking to my sister, talking to my best friend, just venting, just talking, shit. Because everything that I'm thinking doesn't always have to be expressed. Because if you're dealing with a man, especially if you're dealing with somebody who is a problem solver or something like that, if you're expressing everything, then he's trying to fix everything.
That's
and
then
it seems like he's in a constant trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always something.
Yeah.
Right? And so, just don't bring it to them all the time. That's all.
Yeah.
I can't stop overthinking. I'm gonna do that.
Well, at least you admitted that. But then there's coping mechanisms, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the hardest lesson you've learned in love and relationships? And then how do you apply that lesson?
The hardest lesson that I learned, most definitely was when I had that realization when I was in that abusive relationship. And that was just, no one is worth letting go of myself. Nobody. And honestly, I didn't know that was a lesson that I needed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that I was even the type of person or in that space, because nobody thinks that they would do something like that until they do it, right?
Right.
But learning that lesson has helped me in my business. It's helped me in modeling. It's helped me in everything else that I do, because I know who I am and I know what I will not do.
That's what's up. Now, where can the audience find you?
Everywhere. So literally everywhere you can find me. Noirba by Nature. Noirba by Nature. Instagram is Noirba by Nature. TikTok is Noirba.by Nature. YouTube is the Noirba Narrative. Facebook is Noirba by Nature. And you can always go to Noirba.com.
Awesome. Y'all check out all of her links. I want to thank you so much for making time and stopping
Absolutely.
by. And yes, and until next time.
Yes. Bye.